Let's talk about crushed this morning. Crushed. What does it mean to be crushed? Well, I'm going to give you the text to talk and the takeaway, 5 minutes or less, sharing with you what God does after you've been crushed. Have you ever been crushed? Have you ever been disappointed? You ever had to deal with something that was so tough that at the end of the day, it really crushed you, crushed your emotions, crushed your feelings, just crushed you maybe even physically? Well, this morning, that's what I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to give you the text, talk, and the takeaway, 5 minutes or less. Just want to share this word with you on this morning. God dropped this into my spirit, and I want to just drop it on you on this morning. What a wonderful morning it is. What a great morning it is. Glad to be here. Let me see so I can see some folk here, greet some people here, because I can't see a thing without these specs. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Linda. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Carolyn. How are you on this morning? What a great morning it is, Angela. Joel, how are you guys on this morning? This morning, I want to share with you. Think about this. A rose does not really share its smell, its true fragrance, until after it's been crushed. You can't taste the hotness of peppers until they've been crushed. First Lady has a garden, and she's harvesting tomatoes like every other day. The beautiful, wonderful tomatoes. And she's using them for various things, but she can't really use them for stews and all of those things until she's crushed them. Let's talk about crush this morning. The text is Psalms 51:17. Psalms 51:17, and you already know it. It is the psalm in which David says to the Lord, hey, I messed up by my own hands. And he says, I'm a contrite heart. The Hebrew word for contrite means to be crushed. 3 things I want to share with you about being crushed. Paul in 1 Corinthians tells us in the last chapter or so that he was crushed because of the anointing on his life. He was crushed because of the anointing on his life. Notice this. What happened to Paul. Paul was lifted up into the third heaven, he says. I went so high. I grabbed a hold of some things that, man, I can't even utter. As a result of that, God permitted the enemy to put a thorn in his flesh. And God never released him of that. It crushed him. As a result of that, he says, when I'm weak, in my weakness, in my crushed state, you make me strong. Here's the second thing I want you to grab. Elijah was crushed. Elijah was crushed right after they were on the mount, and he called down fire from heaven, sapped up the altar, just had a great victory. He ran from Ahab and Jezebel, found himself in the mount of God, listening for the voice of God. He was crushed with depression. Hey, there's nobody left but me. He was crushed. But then after that, after he heard the voice of God, what did he do? He had to take another trip and then go anoint his successor, Elisha. Paul was crushed. Elijah was crushed. You already know. Come on. Third thing. Jesus was crushed. Jesus was crushed in the Garden of Gethsemane. Gath, the place, the wine press, the place of being crushed. Jesus was crushed so that he could go to the cross. What does that mean for you and I? I have found, and here's your takeaway, the purpose of God in your life, the depth of what God has for you to do in your life will not come forward until you've been crushed. Either by your own hand, either by the hand of God permitting it, either by someone that you had nothing to do with. God is going to use it to bring out the purpose that he has in your life. And it's going to be a crushing. But on the other side, God already has a great thing for you to do. Elijah, Jesus, and Paul. Now you. The Lord be with you today. If face shine upon you, give you peace. If this bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. And if it's your first, second, or third time joining us this morning, let us know who you are, where you are, so we can shout you out. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna.